Let's take a look at three examples of triangles where we're looking for angle measures using the law of sines. My first example, I'm looking for the measure of angle B. I'll mark that here on the diagram. So I'm looking for this measure at B. So my setup's going to be sine of angle B divided by the side opposite it, so that my side B is going to be 20 kilometers, equals, and then I want to pick up another angle where I know both the angle and the side measure. So I see I've got C here is 45 degrees. So that's sine of 45 degrees divided by the side opposite C, which is going to be 22. I want to start solving that proportion by cross multiplying. So 20 times sine of 45 equals 22 times sine of B. So that gets it out of the fraction format. What I want to do then is divide by the coefficient here on the sine where I'm looking for my angle. So I'm going to divide both sides by 22. And for my next step, what I'll have is that fraction on the left, 20 times sine of 45 degrees, all divided by 22 now equals just sine of B. So we're very close to solving for B. The way that I get there is to apply inverse sine. And what that will do on the right side is cancel my sine function. And on the left, this is what's going to give me my angle B. So I'm going to write that down. And then what we need to do again is take that to Desmos to calculate. So let's head over there. Recall, as we go to Desmos, the first time that you open it up on a screen, you need to make sure that it's set in degrees. The default is going to be radians. So we're good to go. I'm going to put in inverse sine. So you can either type it, or if you just want to select it from the functions tab, it's there at the top of the middle column in the trig tab. Or again, you can type it. So I'm going to put parentheses and then a fraction, and then that fraction that we had recorded with our expression. So 20 sine of 45 divided by 22. And the way Desmos has given me my answers is 40.0. We'll round to the nearest tenth. So I'm going to take that back. Let's finalize that answer on our note screen. So what I can write here for this is the measure of angle B equals about 40.0 degrees. For Kahoot, though, the way that you want to input your answer is if it's a whole number rounding like that, simply as 40. And there will be no units on the Kahoot since it's free response. Our second example, again, we're looking for an angle. So here I'm looking for the measure of angle A. So I'll start by marking it. And then I want to set it up like I had done previously. So sine of A over the opposite side, which is side A, 14 meters, equals, and then I'm going to find the pair that I have both the angle and the side. So B is there as an angle. I also have the side opposite is side B. So sine A over 14 equals sine of 113 degrees divided by 25. To get it out of the fraction setup, I'll cross multiply. So 25 times sine of A equals 14 times sine of 13. And then once I get it in this one level format, I can solve for sine A by dividing by 25. You can see a lot of the steps are the same. And that's going to give me sine A equals 14 sine 113 degrees over 25. So our same strategy here is going to apply. To cancel the sine function and solve for A, I'll apply inverse sine. You always want to apply inverse sine whenever you're looking for an angle measure. So again, that's my setups. Inverse sine of 14 sine of 113 degrees all over 25. Let's get our answer on the calculator. So for this one, I'll select the actual sine, inverse sine function there from the menu. And then let's put in our fraction. So for this one, it's 14 sine 113 degrees divided by 25. And here again, we're getting a rounding to a whole number, 31.0 degrees. Again, we're looking for an angle measure. So I'll write it again in two ways. For an answer, just mathematically, the measure of sine A is approximately 31.0 degrees. For Kahoot, though, as you're entering these in, if it rounds to a whole number, you can just put 31. And again, no unit since it's free response on the Kahoot. My last example here is to find the measure of angle A. So again, I'm going to mark that. And then we would again set it up as sine of A over side A, which has a length of 19 yards, equals sine of B. So I see I have angle B here is 44 degrees, all divided by the side B. So the side opposite angle B is 21 yards. Very similar setup. So we're going to multiply 21 times sine of A equals 19 times sine of 44 degrees. To solve for sine of A, I'll divide by 21. That'll give me sine of angle A equals 19 sine of 44 degrees, and that's all divided by 21. And just as in our previous two examples, to cancel sine function, I'm going to apply inverse sine. That'll cancel. I'll just be left with angle A's measure there on the left. And my answer there is going to be given by inverse sine of 19 times sine of 44 degrees over 21. So we'll finalize this last answer, head over to the calculator. And again, you got a couple ways. I'll type at that time just to show again, you can type or select from the menu. And ours is 19 times sine of 44 divided by 21. So again, this one's rounding as 38.9 degrees, 38.9. So as I head back to finalize it, 38.9 is going to be my measure of angle A. So that actually is the way I want to input it on the Kahoot. So if as you round it and you get a tenth that's a non-zero tenth, go ahead and put in 38.9. The only time you would not put in the tenth is if it's a 0.0. Thanks for joining for these three examples of using the law of sines to solve for missing angles. See you soon.